Recently, I was diagnosed with congestive heart failure, which is a horrible disease. It sounds bad. It is bad. It's basically when your heart's not pumping right. So a lot of bad things happen when your heart's not pumping right. And I'm not going to go into the details on what it is. And there's a lot of causes and symptoms and shortness of breath and all of that. There's a whole story of how all of us living with it got to the hospital. But I don't want to talk about that. Actually, this video is for people that are living with it just like I am. And I wanted to see if maybe it's just me, but from my experience, I feel like beyond all the great medicine that's out there, all the great treatments, all the great monitoring, all the great doctors, there's an element missing. And this element is, I think, one of the most important parts of living with such a disease, this one or any other chronic bad disease. And I think that element is optimism. And from what I've seen online and from what I've been reading, it's also technical. It's also don't eat this, don't eat salt, don't eat that. And nowhere does it say, hey, keep a positive outcome. You're gonna be okay. You know, there's the doctors don't tell you that. The literature don't tell you that. So I feel like, wait, that's probably the most important part is if you are going into this and you're trying to live and you're thinking of all the negatives and all the negative outcomes, you're going to get negative results. It's really, really obvious to me. And when you switch that around and you keep a positive outlook and you think, I'm gonna be okay, I'm gonna thrive through this and everything happens for a reason. When you start thinking that way, I have felt a real big shift in my health. And I just think that doctors and all of us, we need to be more optimistic. I mean, the doctors, usually when they come to you with this kind of news, they come to you really somber because they're like, okay, well, this is what you have and blah, 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 and your heart and blah, 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 and we're going to give you this medication, blah, blah, blah. But no one, not the nurses, no one comes to you and says, hey, you're going to be okay. I mean, I don't even know if they can legally say that, but they should. They should be able to tell you, keep a positive mindset. A positive mindset will help you through this. And that's really the key. If you go into depression, if you go into all of that, obviously your brain is going to start releasing all sorts of chemicals that are not going to be good for you or for your disease. So the first thing that you have to do after this type of diagnosis, and I know you got to this video because you searched just like I did, just like everybody with congestive heart failure that knows how to use the internet, everybody went into Google, YouTube, whatever it is, and go congestive heart failure, and you're looking for answers. You're looking to get educated about it. You're looking for a way to feel better. And all you find are horrible stats. You find just horrible stories. And it is a bad disease, but you can't let that stop you from being positive because depression will only make it worse. So what's the opposite of depression? You got to be optimistic. You got to be happy. You got to be okay with it. There's a reason that you and not your neighbor, not anybody else got the disease. And it's for you to figure that out for yourself. But for me, I feel like, okay, this is an opportunity. This is an opportunity for me to do a lot more. And I need to do it faster. I feel like I never thought that I was going to have this disease, you know, and that's always the case, right? You never really live your life expecting to get a disease or some kind of catastrophe to happen in your life. But then when you get there, right, what happens when you get to that crash, when you get to that bad part, what do? You can either get depressed or you can go, okay, I'm going to be better. Like if I got congestive heart failure and I don't have much time, or if, you know, I don't know what could happen, you know, now it just makes you uncertain. That means I gotta be more efficient. That means I can't waste time. That means I gotta clean up my act. You know, I gotta focus on what it is that I want to do with my life. And I think that's how we all gotta live that way, especially if you have congestive heart failure. You really gotta get going. You can't procrastinate anymore. You won't be here forever. And I think you probably figured that out by now. So it's time to get things going. If you got to write that book, if you got to get that new job, if you got to, I don't know, have whatever you need to do, you need to do it right now. Like, there's no time. There's no time. And the universe is telling you that through this disease. So just wanted to put that out. I just think that a lot of people searching for congestive heart failure are going to run into a lot of horrible stories, into a bunch of symptoms, a bunch of statistics of how many people die after 5 years. What you're going to run into all of that. Stop it. Stop it. You can be the outlier. You can be that 1% or whatever that does something amazing with the disease. So I just think that it's not a bad thing that's happening to you. It's really an opportunity for you to get going, get moving, get out there and start following your dreams. Travel, do the things you got to do, and you got to do them now. So just wanted to put that out. If you have congestive heart failure or any disease, cancer, whatever it is, make sure you subscribe. This is going to be a channel about being positive with chronic illness. It's about, I used to put on this channel a lot of different random things about positivism, but I never really felt it the way I feel it right now. The way that I'm like, I got to get going right now. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like time is ticking. But the thing is, time has always been ticking. It's just right now, I feel it. I'm like, okay, I got a wake up call. Most people, this is the good thing about you having congestive heart failure, is that most people live their lives thinking they're going to be here forever. And therefore they let things go. You don't have forever. So you got to get things going right now. There's no time to look back. This is an opportunity for you to live your greatest life ever. So make sure you subscribe, hit like, share this with someone that may need this. And I'm going to be more regular, continuously posting about the disease and things that I found out, and maybe, maybe we find a way to live better without being depressed. So until next time, I'm out.